Hey guys, welcome back to Bronxbomberbuzz. Today we're going to talk about the bullpen. The Yankees are said to be one of the most aggressive teams when it comes to recruiting free agent relievers in this offseason. And today I'm going to be counting down my top 5 relievers I hope the Yankees go for in the offseason. Now just to preface, this won't include the outgoing Yankees free agents from our bullpen, Tim Hill, Tommy Kahnle, or Clay Holmes. I hope we bring back 2 of them, preferably Tim Hill and Tommy Kahnle. I really like those guys, but they won't be on my list today just because I want to give guys a fresh perspective on the market and who I would like to see us get from outside of our organization. And these aren't just going to be the 5 best relievers available by B-WAR or F-WAR or anything like that. I'm going to take into account how they'd fit in New York, what we need in our bullpen and all that. So it's not just going to be the top 5 relievers on the market, that's for sure. But starting out, we do have the best reliever available by pretty much everyone in general consensus. It's Tanner Scott, currently of the San Diego Padres. Obviously traded from the Marlins at the deadline this season. Had a really good year with both Miami and San Diego. For all my fellow baseball savant enjoyers like myself, his baseball savant page was more red than a tomato. I mean, it's quite satisfying to look at. And he was a workhorse, 72 innings pitched and 72 separate appearances this year. Perfect. Big strikeout stuff, 84 strikeouts. Throws a 4-seam and a slider, only 2 pitches. Slider is the big strikeout pitch. Great command. Stuff is it's filthy, really is. Lefty that comes from kind of the side, he's a nightmare at bat, especially for left-handed pitchers, but he's equally as good against righties. No real weakness. Sub-2 ERA, 179 average against. One of the better relievers in baseball this year. I mean, he truly just was. Only walked 36 batters as well. Not the best, not the worst either. And he's one of the best in the game when it comes to keeping the ball in the ballpark. Like I said, he pitched 72 innings. He only gave up 3 long balls. Coming to Yankee Stadium, a park that can be hitters friendly, especially the right field, especially in a lineup that most lineups throw out a ton of righties against us because we have a right-handed pitching heavy rotation. So to have a lefty come in against left-handed bats to being able to keep the ball in the ballpark into right field, that's huge for us. And that's the dream acquisition for the Yankees. It really is. Obviously, best reliever on the market. He's going to have a lot of offers from a lot of different teams, but if the Yankees could sign him, I feel like he would be a superstar for us. He really would. He's only 30 years old as well, and he has closing experience. He had 22 saves and 24 opportunities this year from both Miami and the Padres. So I'm not saying Luke Weaver is going to lose his role. I really think he's going to be a closer for the future. But to have a guy that could do that if Luke Weaver needs a rest day or if Weaver already pitched and we're going into extra innings, to have a guy that's had experience in that role, that's always helpful, and that's a huge help to the team. All right, next up we have currently of the Philadelphia Phillies, Carlos Estevez, who had a breakout year in 2024. He really did. He was the Angels closer for the first half of the season. Traded to the Phillies at the deadline, where he wasn't as good as he was with the Angels, but still was really good. He's got a really heavy fastball that he relies on, and he's also got a pretty good slider and a pretty good changeup as well. He can be a little bit wild in and around the zone, but like I said, he's got such good stuff that batters don't do much damage against it. Pitched in 54 games this year, 55 innings, had 50 strikeouts, so not huge strikeout stuff, but almost won an inning. That's pretty solid. And despite not having the best control, he only walks 12 batters all year, so when he's missing, it's still in the zone, still got a chance to put the ball in play, see what happens, so that's good. Walks are an issue, especially for relievers. He's another guy who has closing experience, 26 saves in 31 opportunities, mainly with the Angels, but he also did have a few saves with the Phillies as well. And as you can see, had a good ERA, didn't give up many runs. So another acquisition that is definitely realistic. He's obviously, like I said, he's going to have plenty of shooters as well after a really good season. But that's someone that we could add to the bullpen for relatively cheap cost. Still would cost a little bit for a reliever, but nothing too crazy, and would be a really high leverage arm for us going into 2025. Heading back to the Southpaws, we got currently of the Atlanta Braves, AJ Minter. He's a guy who's 8 years in the bigs, just been solid throughout his career. 3.28 career ERA, that's ridiculous. Had a really good year in 24 as well. Only pitched in 34 games through 34.1 innings. But still, in those innings, he was really helpful for the Braves as they found their way into the postseason. 2.62 ERA, hitters hitting under 200 against him. Just really good stuff. He has good stuff, nothing that'll blow you away, but he has impeccable control. He lands his spots really well. Got a quality 3-pitch mix. 4-seam cutter changeup, just enough to get hitters off balance. Puts the ball in play. Had 35 strikeouts in those 34.1 innings. So gets strikeouts, gets ground balls, gets flyouts. Really, really good pitcher to have. Just a crafty guy. Great knowledge of the game. Just someone that slow heartbeat. Doesn't have much closing experience, but I'm sure he'd be able to do that role if he needed to. And like I said, another lefty. We desperately need lefties in the Yankees bullpen. We don't even know if Tim Mayza is going to stick around for next year. So if Mayza leaves and Hill leaves, that leaves us with a big goose egg when it comes to Southpaws in the pen. So definitely would be helpful to have them. Next up is another southpaw guy that we saw a lot of this year with the Blue Jays, Genesis Cabrera. The Jays outrighted him. He is now officially a free agent. He's got a true 5-pitch mix, mainly cutter sinker guy, but he also throws a 4-seam, a changeup, and a curveball. Appeared in pretty much 70 games, was one of the Blue Jays' most effective relievers. 3.59 ERA. Not one that'll blow your head away, but definitely very effective, especially in the bullpen that struggled for the most part this year. Did give up 10 homers, so, prone to giving the occasional long ball, but, that changes year to year. Nothing too crazy, nothing that I'd be worried about. It's nothing crazy alarming. 10 homers, you would like it to be lower, but it's nothing that's going to raise a red flag or anything. So, not huge strikeout stuff, mainly gets hitters off balance, gets them to put the ball in play. And he was really good against the Yankees this year. I remember seeing him a couple times when we were up at the Rogers Center especially. He pitched well. Only 28 years old, still has room to grow, but has been around the big leagues for a while. He was mainly in St. Louis, but obviously last year was with the Jays. So that's one that would be a lower market, cheaper option for us, but someone who still, like I said, another lefty, we need our lefties, but someone who could be a good acquisition for us and could definitely grow into a role with the Yankees and make a name for himself for sure. That's a cheaper option. Do I think we'll get him? Probably not, but I think it's a fun option. I could see us succeeding with him, especially with how good Matt Blake is with relievers and transforming their careers, what he did with Tim Hill, what he's done with Luke Weaver. It's guys like that. It's really exceptional what he's been able to do. Matt Blake has transformed our entire pitching staff, so just wanted to show a little Matt Blake appreciation in this video because who doesn't love Matt Blake? Let's be real. Alrighty, last up is a guy we unfortunately saw quite a bit of in the Fall Classic this year, Blake Trinan. Currently of the Los Angeles Dodgers, 37 years old, would be a cheaper option. You're looking at a deal of 1 year, probably around $2.5–3 million. Nothing crazy, but did have some injury problems this year, but still managed to appear in 50 games. We all know his stuff's disgusting. He's got one of the best sweepers, if not the best sweeper in baseball. It's like Jake Cousins, really, it really is. That thing is just, it's inhuman how gross that thing is. So like I said, mainly sinker sweeper combo, but he can also throw a cutter and a 4-seamer as well. Huge strikeout guy, 46 innings in 24, 56 strikeouts, 194 average against, 1.93 ERA. I mean, he's just one of the better relievers in baseball, even with his age. And like I said, the stuff, we all know, it's nasty. Unfortunately, we did have to see quite a bit of it in the World Series, like I said. But that'd be an option. That'd definitely be interesting. I've seen some tentative links between him and the Yankees. Don't know how he would feel about jumping ship to us, but we could definitely use him in the bullpen. It's always good to have a guy with stuff like that. And you never know. He could be even better next year with proper coaching from Matt Blake, and you never know. Been super solid throughout his career. I remember seeing him with Oakland. He was tossing frisbees out there and still kicking it. 37 years old, still tossing frisbees. So would love to see him in pinstripes next year. But those are my 5 top acquisitions that I hope the Yankees do get this offseason. Do I think we'll get all of them? Definitely not. Do I think we'll get some of them? Hopefully. Tanner Scott, obviously number 1. But I would like to see us get a guy like Trinan, maybe Cabrera, maybe Minter. We've seen links with Estevez and Scott mainly, but those last 3 guys I mentioned are guys that I think could definitely do a job for us come 2025. Let me know in the comments who you would like to see don the pinstripes coming out of the bullpen in 2025. Keep liking the videos, keep subscribing, I appreciate it. If you would subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, that would be much appreciated as I try to grow here on YouTube. Make sure to follow my socials. Those will be on the screen and the description below. And as always, Bronxbombers for life, baby. Thank you guys for watching.